Hey guys, it's Alex with Dirt Warrior Accessories, and today I'm going to show you how to install our new vault. This one is for a Pro S 4-seater, so we'll get into it. Some of the tools we're going to use today is a T40 Torx bit, a 15 millimeter socket, a 15 millimeter wrench, an 11 millimeter wrench, and a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. So this is one side of the enclosure. So we got our front panel, our main door piece, our mid panel. Got a couple brackets there that we'll be using, the back panel and the back panel. All right, so I'm going to start with my front panel here. These are made to be like notchable or like drill through it to make it work with your mirror. So we went ahead and notched this one out. It's made out of aluminum, so it's not going to rust or anything, and then you can just put the trim back on where it needs to be. So I'll go ahead and get this on. Cage clamps are going to be on it, as well as all the brackets are going to be on the panels where they need to go. So as you take everything apart, kind of note where it needs to go. We'll get this on. So I'll take the cage clamp and snap it on to the roll cage, rotate it over, and then get the panel in place. Gonna move this around. I'm just gonna get it started. Then I can grab my screwdriver. And I don't want to tighten it all the way down right now. I just want to leave it kind of loose so I can see where it's going to fit with the door on. So I got the front panel on. All right, now we'll put our mid panel on. It's going to have 2 cage clamps in these holes, a bracket, and a bracket at the top. So I'll get the brackets on now. The bottom bracket that goes right here goes on the inside of the door. So we will take our T40 and we will take out the Torx bolt that's on the hinge. It's the back one. So I'll take out this back hinge bolt and take our bracket, get that started, and then snug that back up. Just leaving it loose. We can get our top bracket on now. So we'll take our 15 millimeter socket and 15 millimeter wrench. I'm going to be on the cage right here in the middle. So our bracket's going to attach right back here. So I'll take the 15 millimeter nut off the back. And then there's 2 of them. So I'll get both nuts off. And then I'll take our bracket and it goes on the back side of this. Slide it over the bolt and then get our nuts started. And then that's going to put that bracket like right there, just sticking out kind of by the roof. So I'll go ahead and snug those up. I don't want to tighten anything down yet, but I will get them kind of snug. Just so I can still move that bracket a little bit if I need to. Yeah, that's good for now. Okay, now I'll take that mid panel and I'll set it up here, kind of where it needs to be. And then I will snap that, snap the cage clamps on the cage where they need to be. They're already on the cage here. So snap one right there, snap the other one right there. I'll get those started. That's just my screwdriver. The cage clamps are threaded. built into the cage clamp. I'll get that one started. And then that middle one started. And then I will take the rest of the hardware, which is just the screw and the lock nut, get it through the panel, through the bracket, get those guys started. I'll need my 11mm and screwdriver for that. Just get that snugged. The top one's going to go through the panel and then through that top bracket. That lined up. Okay. And put a nut on the bottom of that. Then we'll get that guy snugged. All the rest of these kind of tight. Not all the way tight, but just kind of snug enough that I can put the door on, but still move this panel if I need to. All right, now I'll go ahead and put our door on. Slide that on the hinges, like so. And then I'll close the door and make sure everything's aligned good. Looking pretty good. So now I'll even probably go ahead and tighten those down a little bit more so that doesn't move. Now I can tighten down those cage bolts again. And now I can tighten my T40 on the hinge. So our back panel here is going to have one bracket on the bottom, and that's going to attach to the hinge. The same as the front door, that T40 hinge bolt, we'll put that on. And then the rest of these are just going to be cage clamps. So I'll go ahead and get our bracket on. Same thing, I'll take off that T40, the back hinge bolt. So I'll take that out. Take our bracket and put that back in. Get that kind of snugged. Okay. Now I can put the panel on. I will go ahead and it kind of has this nub here that kind of needs to go inside of that. So if you like get it started there, kind of rotate it around, it should slide in there nice. I got it kind of lined up with the bracket here, so I'll do the same thing. I'll snap the cage clamps on there, kind of line them up with these holes, and these ones are already on here, so I'll just leave them there, and we'll get it started. So this bottom one into the bracket, it's going to be a little bit longer. So again, pay attention when you're taking it apart. So we'll run our longer screw with a spacer and then through our bracket. So it needs to come down just a little bit. All right, now we'll go to our first cage clamp hole. We'll take our longer screw and the two spacers. One's 3/4, one's about 1/2 inch. We'll get that lined up with our cage clamp here. So we'll get the screw through the panel and then through our two cage clamps, or through our two spacers into the cage clamp. Get that started. Get it kind of aligned there and started. Okay. Now we'll go to our second cage clamp spot. And it's just our screw here. No spacers, no nothing. So just get that one started. Okay. And then we're on our last cage clamp spot. And that one is going to have the 1 3/4 inch spacer with a little bit longer screw. So again, I'm putting the spacer in between the cage clamp and the panel. Get it lined up. Get that lined up with our cage clamp. All right, now I'll snug all these down. I want the panel to move a little bit, but I do want it to be strong enough to hold the door. Because I'm going to put the door on here in a second. So I'll snug everything down. Okay. Now I will slide the door on. And make sure everything's lined up good. It's looking pretty good. So now I can go ahead and tighten everything down all the way. And then lastly is my T40 on the back door. And that's it. So now if I have any gaps anywhere that won't go away with some adjustment, if they're small enough, I can go ahead and pull this trim out just a little bit. It has about 1/2 inch worth of play on it. But this one's actually sealing off pretty good right now. I'll probably just leave that how it is. The other thing that's adjustable is on here. This silver nut is a 15 millimeter. You can loosen and adjust that or tighten it if you need to, depending on how tight this is to open and close. Other than that, this one's looking good. All right, guys, thanks for watching the install of our Pro S 4-seater. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Thanks, guys.